What's going on, guys? It's Jake here, and today we are making a custom Game Boy for Alpharad. I just realized I don't need to clap because we're only using one camera today. No need to sync audio. So I've been watching Alpharad since a little bit before Smash Ultimate dropped. I know I say how much I love every YouTuber in this series, but I genuinely mean it when I say that Alpharad is my favorite YouTuber. I watch nearly 100 different people on YouTube, and while over the years others have been my favorite to binge at one point or another, not many YouTubers have been able to keep my interest over multiple years, but Alpharad has done it with ease. No matter how his content changes, I always come back and love the videos he makes. Like, I don't care about Monster Hunter whatever, I'll never play it, but I loved watching that video and I laughed my butt off. Literally, it's gone. Like, I'm hovering over my seat right now. I don't have a butt anymore. However, I have to say I have a sweet spot for the Alpharad Deluxe channel. It's exactly my style of comedy. You do not understand how many times YouTube has put Smashed Bros in my autoplay when I'm working. I'm pretty sure at this point I could quote it like I'm watching Dumb and Dumber. Our pets' heads are falling off! But about 9 months ago, Alpharad... Okay, I'm sorry. I know you don't like strangers calling you by your first name, but I cannot keep saying Alpharad this much. Ever since I hit the record button, every time I say Alpharad, it's a freaking tongue twister. I don't know why. I'd say something about being a fellow Jake, but I've never actually heard anyone call you Jake before. And fun fact, I'm actually not a Jacob. On my birth certificate, it just says Jake, just like Cher. Anyway, about 9 months ago, Jacob and Mr. Joe Sniffy posted the infamous Mario But Ball episode, and well, let's just roll the clip.
Dude, honestly, I really want to buy a Game Boy again. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like, just getting a modded Game Boy just sounds it just sounds fun.
Backlit Game Boy.
Yeah, because I don't really like emulating games.
I think the best kind of modded Game Boys I've ever seen is people make modded ones out of the bottom screen of the DS.
Yeah.
Like DS lights, and then they put like a glow stick in it, and it just kind of looks sick. Yeah, I can probably find those. I might get one.
Since Joe didn't specify what Game Boy he wanted, he doesn't get one yet. I'd love to make Joe and Jacob balls to the walls Game Boys in another video if any companies want to help me with that. Retro modding, please send me money. But in that clip, Jacob described a Game Boy macro perfectly. And being my absolute favorite mod, I got to work. I'll explain how and why I chose all of these things while I'm tearing this down. I wanted to base the theme off of Jacob's old outro card, but still use original Nintendo parts. I do paint shells from time to time, but it just doesn't feel as nice as the OEM shells. And there's no such thing as a decent third-party shell for the DS's. I decided on a navy shell and white buttons with a small yellow accent that we'll add later. I really love this color combo, but after I look back at the outro, it's a lighter blue than I remembered. Oh well, it still looks freaking awesome. So if you're new here and don't know what a Game Boy macro is, it's where you take a DS with a broken hinge or broken top screen and repurpose it as a GBA player. It's the cheapest Game Boy to make, it's arguably the most comfortable Game Boy, and it saves a DS from ending up in some landfill. If you want to make one yourself, I have a few tutorials on how to do it. If you don't think you can make one yourself or just want to give me money to make one for you, I do sell them on my website, link down below. Now that everything has been taken apart and thoroughly cleaned, we can start modding. I grabbed a yellow LED and soldered some wires to it. Fun fact, the longer end is positive, and if you solder it backwards, the LED will explode on you. It's not like that happened to me or anything. Anyway, you're going to want to solder a resistor to the positive wire and then solder the two wires to these pads here. My red wire is positive and my yellow is ground. I also taped over all the exposed metal to prevent any shorts. Then just a matter of putting everything back together and adding an acrylic rod where the hinge used to go. Turn it on and wait a minute. Why is this orange? So apparently all the yellow LEDs in my kit are actually more orange and for some reason aren't as bright as the others. So I put my thinking cap on, swapped it for a white LED, and put a yellow straw around the acrylic rod. Bam, it was complete. Well, about 95%. I asked my lovely friend Ash to print out some vinyl stickers, so let's put those on. But not before we segue to our sponsor, no one. I don't get sponsors. I just wanted a reason to use this music and to tell you about my Patreon. If you don't want my dog to starve like the amazing Scott, who is my only patron, then go check out my Patreon and give me money. You'll get things like exclusive looks into my upcoming projects, get to vote on said projects, and you'll even get your name on screen like my pal Scott here. So what are you doing? Give me your money now. Link in the description. Man, I am so happy with how this turned out. It's just beautiful. Jokes aside, I make these YouTuber Game Boys as thank yous to my favorite creators for making amazing content, and I really can't thank you enough, Jacob. Thank you for all the laughs you've given this random kid from Oregon. Also, before I forget, I know I didn't add any speakers to this one. I've only ever put one speaker in one macro, and that's because I had to make it the ultimate macro. Otherwise, I never add speakers because they sound like absolute garbage. Being the musically gifted guy Jacob is, I really didn't want him to suffer through the terrible, just absolute abysmal quality of the speakers. But if he does want sound, there is still the headphone jack. I see a lot of new faces out there in the crowd, so if you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend subscribing. If you like crazy hardware mods, I make videos like this all the time. Last week, me and my best friend Aaron hooked up the Donkey Kong bongos directly to a Game Boy Color and played Super Mario Land. It was hard for me, but apparently it was easy for Aaron. I also have a ton of other crazy mods like that planned for the future, and trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss it. So please consider subscribing. Maybe we could hit 25K by the end of the year. But that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys did enjoy, please listen to Brittany. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Only 1% of my viewers are actually subscribed. And yeah, sadly, that is a real chart. Check out my other socials. I post on YouTube once a week, but if you want more from me, go check out my Instagram. I try and post 3 times a week, but social media sucks and I hate it, so I'm not on there as much as I really should. If you want your own modded Game Boy, check out my website. I'm always adding new ones to the store, like this sick Metroid one, or this really cool macro right here. And lastly, if you guys could help me get Alpharad's attention by tweeting this video at him, or retweeting my tweet that I tweeted to him, I'd really appreciate it, because he does not know that I'm doing this, and I actually want him to have this. But that's it from me, so I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. It's funny because I was actually listening to Rockin' Robin before I recorded.